So I want to continue talking about a son without a father. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for sharing the video. Uh, but I'm just doing what I believe that God, told me to do. And I want to touch on this real fast, which is when dealing with a son without a father. I talked about how a son without a father is married to trauma. Well, let me help you understand something else for the single mothers who have sons and might be dealing with some problems, right? Um, One of the things that I realized about myself was um, I took on the spirit when I said I was married to trauma. I also was married to rejection. And so, because I was married to rejection, I always felt disqualified. I always felt like I was not worthy of having anything good in my life because the rejection came from me questioning why my dad wasn't there. Now watch this. I don't know the conversations that my mother and my father was having. All I knew was that my dad never showed up, right? So if this person never showed up, you start to question without answers, right? You have questions but no answers. And because of that, when I talked about rebelling or having a spirit of rebellion, what happened with that was it was crazy, right? And this might help you. So with the spirit of rejection, I found myself not taking on responsibility. I did not know how to accept responsibility, meaning my bad behavior, everything that I did wrong, from getting kicked out of school to fighting all the time to stealing cars or whatever I did, I found myself often blaming my dad for my actions, right? Because check this out, like I was very athletic. I wanted to play all type of sports. I played sports, but I never had the commitment to continue in sports. If something didn't go my way, if the coach talked crazy, I'm out, right? And so when it came to doing certain things, um, in terms of violence, when I acted upon it, if I got caught or if I did not get caught, I said, well, I did this because my daddy wasn't here, because I never had a man to help me or correct me or to, put that into my life where that kind of accountability, so to speak. And so I went through my life, even when I became an adult, I found myself still blaming my father for my actions. Now watch this. It didn't matter what counseling that you was going to take me through. It didn't matter how many times you told me that I was wrong. I was so angry at my dad, or you know what I'm saying, that I justified it. And it felt good to justify my actions because he wasn't there. So I was like, well, I didn't ask to be here. And if I did not ask to be here, and if I'm going to be here, I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to justify my wrong because dude ain't show up, right? And so all of my problems, all of my pains, all of my rejections it all stemmed from my dad never showing up. And you got to understand, I never knew that seeds were being planted when I would have a softball game and nobody, well, baseball game rather, and nobody would show up. I didn't know when I was running track, I look in the stands and my dad wasn't there. My mom, she had to work literally multiple jobs. And so my mom was always justified because I saw her in action. Did it hurt that she couldn't come to some of the things that I was participating in? Yeah. But she had to take care of 4 kids. And then guess what I did? I also blamed my dad for my mom not being able to be present because he wasn't there to help her. So you got to understand the rage and the frustration that was being built up. Now, once again, I had no idea that all these things were happening to me mentally. I had no idea, even spiritually, that these things were really starting to take hold of me. And so You could not tell me I was doing wrong because wrong had happened at the start of my birth, right? You could not tell me. And so guess what? What I started doing was, when I was a child, I'll never forget, when I understood how to get things done the way that I wanted it to be done as a child. I don't do this now. But as a child, I learned how to manipulate situations for my good, because I understood, in order to manipulate situations for my good, that was me protecting myself, not caring who I hurt. Watch this. Why would I care who I hurt if my dad hurt me? Think about that. And so if my dad hurt me and nobody was there to protect me, right? Because I dealt with, well, I don't want to talk about it, but I dealt with being touched, as a child. And so you got to think about, if I was left being unprotected, all I know now is to protect me. And so what I did was, I manipulated situations to always protect me. No matter who I hurt, no matter who I lied to, no matter who I had to, whatever I had to do. And even growing up, I found myself even in college with women. When it came down to women, I knew that these girls liked me. These young ladies liked me. I knew that. But I knew how to cover my heart. I knew how to protect my heart because it was broken. And nobody ever helped stitch me up. Nobody. And so even the people, watch this, that I thought was helping me had a hidden agenda, right? And it broke my heart, because there were times I was longing for a father, and I would go to this person, or I'll go to that person, or to this person. And literally it was always an agenda, and no one had a pure motive to be my dad. It was always something to gain, in a sense that violated me. So if that was the case, I never trusted men. I never trusted men. Just being honest with you. I never trusted men. And so all of my pain went to a man. And the problem is, I never tried to hurt a woman. But again, in protecting myself, I needed to run to a woman, but I knew that I was potentially going to hurt this woman, because I never knew how to completely invest myself into what she desired. Because all I knew was to protect myself. And the very thing that saved me, my mama, I wound up hurting the women. But I didn't understand it. Why would I hurt the only thing that saved me, the woman? Because all I knew was to protect myself. So I had to make her to believe, because women have a nurturing spirit. So I had to make her believe that I was so into her, so that I can be comforted by her the way that I needed. Because I thought that was being a man. I thought that was being, it was, it was a lot, which is why I said to you, I would have sex with this girl, but I was still feeling complete. I have sex with that girl, and I was still feeling complete. I remember there was a time when I was working in the music industry, and one girl would leave, and as she leaving out of my gate, another girl would be entering my gate, because nobody told me. Now watch this. As a man, you can't say to anybody, by now you should be this. Ain't no by now you should be this, because everybody have a different journey. Everybody have a different story. And by now, nobody had never told me that my actions were really wrong. You can say that you should know right from wrong, but when you stuck in pain, when you stuck in brokenness, you don't see the wrong. You don't see the manipulation. You don't see the con artist or whatever it is, just to get what you want, but while protecting yourself, you don't even see it. And that was me. I was chasing something. And I never had Jesus. I was chasing something, and it was just painful. And a lot of people never understand the sacrifice that you do to yourself. Like, although I was hurting people and manipulating people, I was still hurting myself. I was still hurting myself. And you don't want to go through that. And so it's important for you to really heal, because at the age I am now, I tell myself, and I used to blame God, because I'm like, why did I take so long? To become a man. There are so many things that I could have accomplished. And I was angry at every young man that had a father, because I saw their lives different from mine. They had more structure, more of a foundation. They knew how to honor women better, especially the ones that had fathers who loved the mother. I'm talking about the ones who was the actual father, a dad in the home, not who was there but absent. And so I was upset with God. That's why I understand men. God, this is hard, Lord. I'm gonna have to do a part 3. I can't take this right now, all right? So I love y'all. I'll do episode 3. God bless.